Well, welcome back. So today I've got a short little stretch of high tensile fence right here that one of our lovely cows decided she didn't like very much. She ran through it and broke out the insulator. That's where it breaks 90% of the time. It's right there, just on that bend. So today I'm going to show you how to repair high tensile fence and how to build up an insulator. So what we're going to need to do this is I've got a little stretch of high tensile right here that I keep on the Kawasaki all the time. I've got my pliers. I've got a double U insulator. These black ones are my favorite. They seem to work the best. Got double U insulators. I've got my crimp sleeves. These are my favorite crimp sleeves. I just like the way they crimp out. They work good. They're pretty long, so you get a lot of crimp pressure on them. So crimp sleeves, insulator for right here. I've got my high tensile fence wire, and I've got my high tensile crimpers. So before you start anything, and I've already done this, make sure your fence is off. It's a lot more pleasant that way. But once you've got your fence off, we'll go ahead and start by just removing the old wire, which can sometimes be a little bit of a nuisance. You got to get your pliers in there behind it in order to cut it, and it's not always the easiest thing, but go ahead and get that out of here. Throw that in the mule so nobody steps on it later and gets it wrapped around a foot. All right, so I've got to redo an insulator here, and then I'm going to have to add on a little bit of wire over there in order to make it back up, because they broke that wire and the insulator wire. So the way I do these insulators, you've got to form fit that bend. So I'm going to actually squat down here and hopefully make this where it's a little bit more visible. But the way I'm going to do this is I want to pre-bend this wire to wrap around this shape right here. So I've done this far too many times, so I kind of just do it. I'll have to pick that up in a minute. I have to just kind of do it by feel, but I come back about 10 to 12 inches on this, and I just go ahead and start bending. I know I need about a 20 or 30 degree bend right there. Come up an inch and a half, do a 90, come over about an inch, do another, whatever you want to call that, same direction, and then I'm going to do another opposing 20 degree bend. So that's my pre-bend for this insulator. I'll just pop it right in there. So I'm going to take that insulator and I'm just going to slide it right up in there, all the way down, and then bring it tight. And try to show you this real good and clear, but it sits on there really nicely. There's nothing poking out. And then I can take my pliers here and squeeze these two 20 degree bends up so that they're right next to each other, and that'll be where I put my crimp sleeve. So now I'm going to come back. I'm going to give myself about that much. I don't know what that is. If you're building a bunch of fence, I usually take and I measure one of these up and I use it as a benchmark, and I come through and I just build a bunch of them, and then I actually take them and just shove this wire tail straight down into one of the poly or into the pop-ups, the PVC pop-ups, and I just have a pop-up with like 20 of these shoved down in it, and that way I don't have to make them every single stop on the fence. So we've got our insulator made up now. That pre-bend is a much bigger deal than I can convey, because otherwise you're sitting over here and you're trying to get this wrapped around and then bend these back the wrong way and all this. It's a lot more doing to get that wrapped up in there. And then also I don't know if you can see that, but it pops out of there a lot. And if you get it too loose, it can actually come back and short out on the other string of wire. So pre-bending is definitely worth it. So now that we've got our insulator wire pre-bent, we'll slide our insulator up in there, cut it to length. I'm going to do it about that long. And then I'm going to grab 2 of these crimp sleeves. So I'm going to use one of them to crimp this insulator back onto itself. So I'll go ahead and get that slid all the way up. That's going to be what holds my insulator on. So what I usually do is I usually put a quick little bend in it, and then I'll come in and crimp that in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put a 90 in here. And that's going to be my initial bend for going around this galvanized post here. So I'm going to bring that all the way back up against my post. And then I'm going to go around my post a second time with the high tensile wire. And I'm going to pull this up real tight right next to each other. And then I'm going to grab right there with my pliers and put that other bend in. So what I'm doing here is I'm holding this because otherwise it'll spring all the way around, and that kind of hurts. But now I've got 290 degrees put in there. I'm going to cut the extra tail off that I don't need. Then I'm going to slide my crimp sleeve all the way back up onto this. So now I've got my insulator ready to crimp, and it's ready to crimp on the pipe, and it's pretty tight on the pipe too. So again, I'll go ahead and put a 90 in this just because I can. I don't always do that, but it's not a bad idea to. Okay, so I'm going to try to give you a real good top-down view here. This is my insulator going out. You can see there's not really anything sticking out. There's maybe just that little bit right there sticking out. I've got it brought back around, put a crimp sleeve here, and bent this tail over. Brought it over, put a 90-degree bend here, ran that around the post twice, brought it back, put another opposing 90-degree here, so these 2 pieces come up and meet really nicely where that crimp sleeve's at. And then I bring it through and put another 90 in it. That 90 isn't really there to do anything. The crimp sleeve is gonna hold it. I just do that to get it where it's out of the way a little bit. I don't really know why. I've just always done that. But we're gonna go ahead and crimp it. These crimps take that size hole, so it's gonna crimp down to about a 1/4 inch round. And the way we do this is you're gonna come in and take one bite right on the very end. And when you crimp that down, you want it to be nice and clean and square and even. You don't want to have, if you catch it sideways, you're gonna crimp it all kinds of crooked. So you want it nice and square with your crimp sleeve. And then you're gonna work from one side to the other. You don't want to start in the middle, and you don't want to start and then jump around. You want to keep it real consistent. And I can usually get 3 or 4 real good crimps on this. Yeah. So there's 4 good crimps. I've got a little bit of a ridge right there in the middle. Get that cleaned up real quick. All right, there's a crimp sleeve. That took a little longer than usual because I'm talking through it. But that's going to have really good, really tight pressure holding that entire insulator. So I'll go ahead and do this one as well. Okay, so here's our crimp done all the way up. This insulator is completely ready to go. We can pull on this, put plenty of pressure. These crimps will hold much more pressure than that wire is going to. If we have any weak point in this fence, it's going to be the tensile strength of the wire actually, rather than these crimps. All right, so now we're at the other side. This is the fence line. This is where they broke it off on the insulator side the same way as the other. So normally what happens is right where you make that bend, they snap it right there. So I'm going to treat this the same way, except for I had to cut off the insulator part. So now I need to put on another little piece of wire. You can twist all this. I just don't. I use high tensile crimps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself some crimps. I need one for this splice, and then I need one for my crimp that is going around this insulator, and I need one for my insulated wire right here that's going to carry the energy down the fence. So that's a total of 3 crimps. The way these work, you just slide one in each side. These crimps have 2 holes right down the middle of them. You put 1 wire in each side. So I'm going to let that go down because I don't need that one right now. And then I'm just going to put this right here. I usually leave about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of wire poking out either side. And again, always crimp in one direction. I usually use kind of my hip as a third hand to push these crimp tools against. You can get electric crimp tools too. Okay, so that's our nice clean crimp. No big ridges anywhere on there. Good compression all the way through. And I've got 2 more for the carry through wire and for the insulator. So I don't actually know. This section of fence is only 30 feet maybe. It's just a little leg. So I'm just going to tighten it by hand probably. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it up and get my measurement where I want to start this bend for my insulator. And I'll show you this one more time. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to give it a little, maybe a 20 degree, 30 degree bend going down. Then I'm going to come up maybe 1.5 inches, 90 degree bend opposite of that first bend. 20 degree down, 90 up. Come up maybe another inch, 1.5 inches, and do a 90 back. And then come down directly across from that first 20 and give it another little 20 backwards the other way. So we just kind of made a triangle down there at the end. And the important thing is that these 2 wires lay real nice and tight together. So now I can take that. Those bends are going to keep their form because it's high tensile. And I can pop it right through here on this insulator and cut this to length. Get rid of that. And because I put those 2 20 degree bends right across from each other and where they're making these wires fall real close, I can just slide this crimp sleeve all the way up right to the base of that insulator. So I've got a crimp sleeve there, and then my jacketed wire, that's the carry through wire. I'm going to route around here as cleanly as I can and run it up and into this other crimp sleeve. It doesn't have to have a crimp sleeve. I can twist it on there, but if I take this crimp sleeve and just give it one good crimp, that's going to be really good conductivity all the way through. So my jacketed wire is crimped. I'm going to crimp up my insulator real quick. The hard part about these crimp tools is they're so long that it's kind of hard to line it up. Sometimes you gotta bring your hand up here, and I don't know, maybe it's just that I'm about as coordinated as a chimpanzee. But there it is, new insulator tied to the post, spliced wire, insulated all the way over. This wire is not super tight, but it's also only 20 feet that direction. So that's how I fix this. The only part that I didn't show you in this that I would usually do on a regular fence line is tying off the strainer and tightening it up with the strainer. Okay, just to recap, here's what I've done. So I've got 20 feet going that way. This wire is not super tight, but it doesn't need a ton of tension on it. It's only just a little gate. No cattle really come in here. This is just carrying power to where our cattle fence is actually at. We have a gate that closes right here. So what I've got is I've got high tensile wire going both ways on my W, same deal, pre-bent the whole thing, a crimp sleeve here, the wire comes back 90s, goes around the post twice, come back 90s, crimped right there. So that is my insulator. That's how I made it up. I showed you all of that. This side, my wire came over here and then it broke at the insulator. So I cut it, I brought in a new chunk of wire and I crimped that on. Then I ran that new chunk, pre-bent it, and wrapped it around the insulator, crimped it here. Then I have my jumper wire that carries the power over to this. That, instead of just wrapping it on there, I put it with a crimp sleeve. Just one crimp, there's no tension on that. It just needs to have good conductivity. Now another good option, you can run a split bolt and you can put a split bolt up through there and hold it with that. That's what I've done right here. That holds well. That's a good option, but I like these crimps. They hold way better. They're not as easy, so like if I needed to, I could treat that split bolt as a switch, and I could undo it. I can't do that with the crimp. That's the only downside. I can do that if I tie it on and all that, but I don't ever need to. I have a switch in the barn for shutting off this fence line. So that's how I fix electric fence. I've got a lot of other things, a lot of other ways it can be done. You can twist it, you can do different crimps, you can do a whole, I mean, there's endless ways to do this fence differently. You could use a goldenrod to tension this up. You can use 4 different styles of strainers to tension it up. The other guy probably does it different, but this is how I do it. For good or for bad, like I said, I don't know much, but I'm willing to take a crack at about anything. All right, well, I hope that is helpful. If it is, I'd appreciate if you consider liking and leaving a comment. Let me know that it was. Let me know if there's anything else that I can answer questions on. If it's something that is really helpful and you know somebody else that would benefit from this, please share the video. I think that's probably what is best for me and the channel at least. But I just really appreciate the opportunity to be able to pump out some information. Hopefully it's good information, and I hope I'm being a help to people here, not wasting time. All right, last step, close the switch and make it hot.